Hey everybody! I just want to do a quick video discussing the implications of having a child with a narcissist. Uh, there's a lot of moral implications in regards to this because, and I know it's a very touchy subject, but I think it needs to be addressed because, if the child should end up being a psychopath or a narcissist, then basically we now have a societal problem. So most people, I assume, if they knew the person they were with was a narcissist and they knew that many narcissists, it's in the genes, it's genetic, there's absolutely a genetic component to it, that I would assume they would not have had children with that person. I would like to think that most people that have had children with a narcissist did so before they knew this person was a narcissist. So in that case, it's not like you did anything wrong. No one knew. Usually you don't find out till much later that the person you're with is a narcissist. But I just wanted to point out that if one of your children should happen to turn out to be a psychopath, now there's a very big societal problem. This is a moral issue because this person can have a serious detrimental effect on society. Every person that encounters this, being, this child that grew up to be a psychopath is now going to be traumatized and harmed and hurt by this person. So there are, the parents have a moral obligation. They're now responsible for bringing this creation into the world. And I'm not saying, of course, no one would purposely, knowingly breed with a psychopath, I would like to think in my mind that no one would purposely do that if they knew how much of a danger their partner is and how abusive their partner is to they themselves. Then why on earth would you breed with that person when the evidence shows that narcissism breeds narcissism? And many narcissists, like Sam Vaknin, has written it in his book. It's very obvious. And there's definitely a genetic component. That's why we have families with a narcissistic parent that have one child that is a narcissist and let's say two other children that are not narcissists. That means that it wasn't just the treatment of the children. That means there is a genetic component for the one that became a narcissist. Why, if they were all abused and the narcissist is so abusive and they keep pointing to childhood abuse as the reason, they're saying, okay, narcissists are created. Not really. That's one component of it. But I think the genetic component is actually stronger because the fact that a person could have 3 children and one is a narcissist and the other 2 are not, and they were all raised in the same environment. Okay, well then what happened to the abuse argument? That means were all 3 abused, or they only abused the narc child? Yes, it is possible. Parents do treat their children differently, and that's why they have the golden child, the scapegoat. But the golden child, gets abused too. So, you know what I mean? It's all over the place. It's all over the place. So they treated one child poorly and the other two not poorly. I mean, that's why these arguments kind of crumble when brought under serious scrutiny. They don't really hold up, okay? So there's obviously another component, which is the genes. There's a genetic component that I believe is stronger than the actual treatment of the children. But anyway, I'm getting off into a different subject. All I was trying to point out is that if you have a child, you have to pay close attention now to the children you're bringing into the world. If your partner is a narcissist, you now have to pay close attention to these children and see how they're behaving, because one or more of them could be a psychopath. And now society has to deal with this. So I'm not saying it's anyone's fault. As I said, most people probably had the children before they knew that their partner was a narcissist. So no one, you didn't do anything wrong. That's not what I'm saying. I don't want to come across as in that way. I am just saying that we now have another human being, or, well, we probably don't want to call it a human being. We have another entity that is a problem, that society now has to deal with this person, because they're going to be putting a world of hurt on every single person they encounter. So these are serious, serious implications for the safety of society as a whole. So, then of course, just having a child with a narcissist in general, think to yourself how the narcissist treated you and abused you. How do you think they're going to treat the child? Like, what are they going to treat the child differently than they treated you? You already know the person is a monster. So if the narcissist has sole custody of the child is in grave danger as well. So there's all kinds of implications of what is going to happen to this child. If they have full custody, the children are in serious danger. And they are in serious danger of becoming a narcissist, which then society now has to deal with additional problems of how do we deal with these people. They're a threat to society. So just something to think about.